Week 10 play starts up once again for Michigan as they're coming off of a bye week to face 2-2 Wisconsin, led by Luke Fickell, who, in my opinion, is on a march to being fired because Wisconsin has not been good this year. I don't think they're very good whatsoever. They're coming off of 2 straight losses, one to Alabama, which Alabama is a good team, and then one to Maryland. We don't know exactly what Maryland is going to be. Maybe they're a little bit better than what we thought, but losing 27-10 against Maryland is not a strong showing, especially when you're at home. But this is a game that Michigan is home. Michigan is 17.5-point favorites. And to be completely honest with you, I thought it was going to be more. I truly think that this Wisconsin team is just at the beginning of a march of just continuing to play very good opponents, and I think this is just really the beginning of the end for Luke Fickell. After this game, Wisconsin has Iowa. Then after that, they have Ohio State, then Oregon, then Washington, then Indiana, then Illinois, then Minnesota. You can look at that schedule, and if Wisconsin doesn't win this game, they might not win another game this year. And you're going to have games for Wisconsin that is not going to be 17.5 points. Like, it's going to be worse than that. I think Ohio State will probably be worse than that. I think Oregon will probably be worse for that. And this is just a Wisconsin team that's just not very good. Their starting quarterback is Danny O'Neal. He's actually been not great this year, honestly. He is a transfer from San Diego State. He actually wasn't the starter this year. It was actually a former Maryland quarterback in Billy Edwards Jr. that was the starter for this team. He got hurt, so Danny has really kind of taken over as the starter. Only 5 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, sacked 13 times. He does have a pretty decent completion percentage at 70%, but he was only throwing the ball for 85 times in those games. Like, he's not throwing the ball a ton. He's just not doing very much with it at all, and his leading receiver isn't even a wide receiver. It's a tight end in Lance Mason. Lance has probably been one of the best players that this Wisconsin team has had. He has 14 receptions for 177 yards. He averages a little under 13 yards per catch, 2 touchdowns on the year. You also have a guy in Vinny Anthony II. He's had a pretty solid year. 12 receptions, 161 yards, 1 touchdown. And then you have Ballard, 150 yards, 2 touchdowns. This is truly what Wisconsin is becoming. A team that likes to pass the ball, a team that likes to get it to the wide receivers, get it to the tight ends, which is completely different than what we've seen from Wisconsin historically. I feel like that is where Luke Fickell went very wrong in this kind of build, is because he has a guy in Dylan Jones who has 154 yards on the ground. He is a freshman, 1 touchdown on the year. But if you look at just the overall offense, especially total yards, yards per game, passing yards is about 2-1 to running the ball. And that is not what Wisconsin did well when they were very good. They were able to run, control the offensive line, had a great running game, and with the ability for Michigan to get to the quarterback. Because of that, I don't think this is going to be a close game whatsoever. I think Michigan's going to come in, use 3 or 4 guys, and get to Danny O'Neal. I don't think this offensive line is very good for Wisconsin. I don't think this is going to be a very competitive game. I don't think Wisconsin's going to really be able to score very much. If you want to point out one weakness of this defense for Michigan, it's probably the secondary. We've seen teams attack the secondary. But just look at what Wisconsin has done. Like, even in their strength, it's still not very good. You have a quarterback that makes mistakes. You have guys that have made plays. But this is a Wisconsin team that's only averaging 20 points a game. This Michigan team, in my opinion, will hold Wisconsin to less than that. And while I think offensively you do have some questions about Michigan, I do think that there was times that Michigan looked good against Nebraska. I think a lot of those times were the really big run plays that they had. They had multiple 50-yard run plays that ended up scoring for touchdowns. You had Bryce Underwood having a 32-yard run for a touchdown. Besides those big run plays, there's still going to be a little bit of kind of a question of what this Michigan offense is going to do. Now, versus this Wisconsin team, I think you'll see Bryce Underwood look great, in my opinion. I think you're going to see this running game continue to do what they have been. I truly just don't think that this team for Wisconsin is going to be even close in this game. And if it is truly close, there's a few reasons for that. One, this Wisconsin team is really, truly fighting for Luke Fickell. Like, they really like him. They want to keep his job, so they want to keep it close. Or the second part, which would be a little bit more concerning, is that this offense isn't as good as what Michigan fans think it is, and that Bryce struggles at home. I think the first one is a lot more possible than the second. I think you're going to see a Wisconsin team that probably will fight. But even if they do fight, I still don't think it's going to be close. I think Michigan by far out-talents them. I think defensively they're a much better team. Offensively they're a much better team. And I truly think at this point, 17.5, if Wisconsin covers that, especially after losing to Maryland by 17, I would be really surprised. I'm just surprised it's not as much as like 20 at this point. I know that's a lot, but I truly think Wisconsin is just that bad. I truly think Michigan is just that much better than what Maryland was, and you'll end up losing at home by 17. Try going on the road against a better team. Yeah, good luck. But yeah, no, that's just my opinion. Let me know in the comments, do you agree, disagree? What do you think happens in this game? If you like this content, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment. Appreciate anyone that does. Make sure to let your friends know, let your family know. Any Michigan fans as well. Appreciate any Michigan fans or even Wisconsin fans as well. I truly just don't think this is going to be a close game, and I think Michigan wins and goes to 4-1.